So in your most recent lesson, you will have looked at one of your required practicals, which is on photosynthesis. And this video is just to remind you about the key aspects of it. That this practical is looking to measure the effect of light intensity on the rate of photosynthesis. So that's the point of the practical. In terms of how that's investigated, it's using pondweed in sodium hydrogen carbonate solution and placing it at specific distances to a light source and counting the number of bubbles that the pondweed produces per period of time, such as per minute. So let's break that down for a bit. So the first thing to bear in mind in this practical is your independent variable. So the independent variable is the thing that you change within this practical. So what you are changing is the distance of the pondweed from the light. Thinking about our other variables, our dependent variable. So that is the thing that you measure. And so that is the number of bubbles, usually per 1 minute. So the reason why pondweed is being used is so that you can visibly see photosynthesis. Because it's a plant, what it's producing is it's producing oxygen, and because it's underwater, that oxygen is trapped in the bubbles. And so if a plant is photosynthesizing more underwater, you would expect to see more bubbles of oxygen. So that's the link that we're looking for here. And then obviously in any practical, it's also important to bear in mind the control variables can be more than one, and these are the things that you keep the same in order to make it a fair test, a valid test, one that you can draw outcomes from. So there are some things to keep the same in this. Obviously the piece of pondweed stays the same, and its photosynthesis rate is measured at different distances. The volume of the solution that it is in stays the same for each one, and also the concentration of the solution, because the sodium hydrogen carbonate solution contains carbon dioxide, and so if you have a specific concentration of it, you contain a specific amount of carbon dioxide, so it allows you to control the amount of CO2 the plant receives. And then obviously the other main control variable is the amount of time that you measure it for. So say it's about a minute. Now, a couple of other key things to bear in mind about this practical. Sometimes people mention that it's worth cutting the top of the pondweed before you put it in. That's to allow water to come out. Not water, oxygen bubbles to form at the top and come out more quickly. The other aspect is the light source. It is best to use an LED light source because it doesn't emit heat. Because you know from previous lessons, temperature, heat, can affect photosynthesis. So it's trying to negate that potential issue. So they are your main points on the bioenergetics required practical for looking at how light intensity affects the rate of photosynthesis.